beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. So today's sequence is going to be geared around the hips. So opening out the hips, making them all loosey-goosey. If you struggle with tight hips, runners especially struggle mostly with tight hips. Also if you sit at a desk all day long, if you generally do sit for a long period of time, this sequence is definitely for you. So yeah, you don't need any equipment as always. Perhaps a strap or even a belt or a tea towel could come in handy. You don't necessarily need them, but it could help you to get into and out of the poses with a little bit more ease. But also you could use a block if you need it, or a cushion, any sort of bolster that will help you support your hips in the seated positions. So with that being said, we're going to bring ourselves down into a laying down position with our knees bent. So coming down to start, and our feet is going to draw up to the outside edges of the mat. And again, hands either onto the lower belly or palms up to the ceiling, whichever tickles your pickle right now. And we're just going to close down the eyes and become aware of the breath. So as always, yoga is a practice about connecting your body to your mind, and we use the breath to connect both elements of life. So we're going to close down the eyes, and just from here, give yourself a head-to-toe assessment. So noticing any niggles or injuries that you may be harbouring at this time, and just become the observer of your body and your mind, and just notice the sensations of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. So if your breathing is slightly elevated, if you're breathing quite fast and jagged, it could be an indicator that you're a little bit anxious about something, or physically you could be harbouring some sort of injury. It could be some sort of pain perhaps. So just place your awareness there. And if at any point in the practice you feel any twinges or anything through your body, pull yourself out of the pose and just work to your own ability, working within your own limitations. You're merely using my voice as a guide. So I may be able to move myself into the poses a little bit deeper than yourself, so try not to push yourself too hard there. But you might also bring yourself into poses deeper than me. I'm definitely not a flexible little onion, so a flexible onion? I don't even know what that is. So anyway, connecting our mind to our body. Just noticing sensations of your breath. Just going to take a couple of cleansing inhales and exhales here. So as you inhale, feel that expansion and lift of the chest and the belly as they balloon up. And exhale, slowly release them out. One more time as you inhale. Really filling up the lungs as best you can. Hold at the top, maybe suck in a bit more air. And exhale, either through the mouth, pursing the lips, or using your ujjayi breath, constricting those small muscles at the back of the throat to make it sound a little bit like Darth Vader. So from here, we're going to open up the eyes, draw the knees in towards the chest, hugging from side to rock from side to side, hug the knees in. Taking both knees in either hand, just allow the lower body to fall completely limp here. Should feel really nice, just to bring some mobility and space into the hip joints, just to bring some warmth. Bring up the synovial fluid into the joint cavity to protect them. Add that bit of cushioning. And from here, we're just going to extend that left leg down to the ground. Keep a hold of the right knee. Grab underneath the knee here with both of your hands. Again, this right leg is completely limp. And you want to use your arms to pull the knee away from you. So you're pulling it out of the hip socket and bringing it up into small rotational circles here. So it's quite a lot of effort on the arms. And ideally, you'd have somebody else doing this for you. Maybe get a beau to do it for you. Or someone you know will treat you with a lot of care and not injure you basically. But if you're on your own, it's perfectly fine to do on your own, but it's a lot of work on the arms. And we're just basically bringing some traction into that hip joint. So if you think about it, that hip is going to be sunk into that, the leg is going to be sunk into that hip joint all day long, whether you're sitting or you're standing. So it's nice just to bring that traction, lift it out, bring some space into the hip. Okay, give it one more hug, nice squeeze, and extend that right leg down. So we're going to bring that left leg up this time, grabbing behind the knee. Give your shoulders a bit of a break, because it is a lot of work. Lift the knee out and just bring some small rotations through the femur. So where that femur attaches, the femur head attaches into the hip socket, you want to feel or imagine that you're lifting that femur head away. So just bringing some nice space into that hip. To bring that space in so that we can bring some flexibility into the movements. Releasing any impingements that may be in the hip there, 'cause it's a very complex structure. And hug both knees into the chest one more time. Okay, so from here, we're going to place that, I was about to rock up then, we're going to place that left heel or left foot down to the mat. Cross that right ankle over the left knee. So this is where your strap, your tea towel, your belt, your whatever strong material might come in handy. Ugh, hairs all over my strap there. So if you find yourself with your shoulders and your head off the ground, this is essentially the thread the needle pose we're going to be bringing ourselves into, then you want to bring I'll do the strap first, either the strap come underneath the left, behind the left knee, so attaching itself to the left hamstrings, and now you've got the strap in both hands. And you can use that then to keep your head onto the ground and use your arms again just to draw your knee in towards your chest. Alternatively, you can take a bolster or a pillow, place it underneath your head, just so you've got that support behind you to come into thread the needle pose. So, taking the variation that suits you best, just place that to the side. So again, your right ankle's crossed over the left knee, and we're going to either grab behind the left thigh or in front of the left shin. I mean, ultimately, this is the deepest range of motion here for the thread the needle if you're really flexible, but it can sometimes put a bit of pressure onto that knee, so just be aware of that. Slightest twinge you feel in your knee, even no, nothing. You shouldn't feel anything in your knee. Then you take your hand behind your thigh, you draw yourself in. So as you inhale, you're going to release it away from you a little bit, but as you exhale, you're going to draw the abdominals towards you and the knee closer in. So you should really feel this down the front of the back of your right glute muscle, the right buttock. Inhale away, exhale towards. We're going to slowly release that grip. And we're going to take now the left ankle over the right leg, the right knee. So again, placing yourself in the position that is most comfortable for you. So grabbing your strap, placing the cushion into your head, or if you are in that flexible range of motion to take yourself into the deepest form, then you're going to follow me. So grabbing your left arm between the legs, right hand to the outside of the shin, so like a figure of 4. Inhale, release yourself away. Exhale, draw the leg towards you. So again, now you should feel this real deep stretch down the left buttock muscle. Exhale, draw it closer. Inhale and exhale. Excellent. So release that grip nice and slowly. Both feet down to the ground, maybe just give them a bit of a shake from side to side, windshield wipe them with control. Don't go swinging your legs all across here, just nice and controlled. And from here, we're just going to rock ourselves up to a seated position. So from here, if you're facing the short edge of your mat, we're going to bring ourselves into 90-90 position. So your right shin, you want it to become parallel to the short edge of the front of the mat. And the left shin, you want it to be parallel to the long edge of your mat, to the side. So both ankles are flexed. I'll face you so you can see exactly what's happening. So imagining my mat's in front of me here. So that right shin is in front of me. And that left shin is at 90 degrees. This is a 90, 90. Both ankles are flexed. Your left hand to the front of the left shin, and your right hand just to the right of your right shin. Left hand in front of the right shin. Oh my gosh, there are so many lefts and rights. So left hand, front of the right shin, right hand to the right of the right knee. As you inhale, you'll draw length up through the spine, draw the shoulders away from the ears, and exhale, come down. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, bring it down. So we've got a bit of internal rotation of that left leg. So bringing some stretch to the inside of that left leg. Keep moving. Inhale, and we're working the outside of the right leg. Exhale. So when you come down to this exhale, maybe taking your elbows down to the ground. Maybe taking the forearms in front of each other and just resting your head down. Depending on what range of motion you can bring yourself down into. It's quite a deep, intense stretch on the glutes, the butt muscles. As we inhale, we're going to walk it back up. Now this is a nice easy transition. Take that left hand behind you. Keep the feet where they are. I'm just going to pivot them over to the other side. So I'm kind of facing the wrong way because I turned to face you. So now your left shin is in front of you. So it's facing the short edge of the mat. Yeah, you see what I mean anyway. So the left shin is now in front and the right foot is behind. So again, 90-90. Right hand in front of the left shin, left hand to the outside or to the left of the left knee. So again, as you inhale, you'll draw length up through the spine. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale up. And exhale down. So from here, going to settle down to the pose. So maybe taking either your elbows down or forearms on top of each other and head resting down onto the forearms. So wherever you're at, just release yourself into the pose. So really use the exhales to relax yourself into the pose. As we inhale, we're going to walk ourselves back up. And we're now going to come into a child's pose position, but seated. So what I mean by that is our big toes are going to come to touch, and our knees are out really nice and wide. So in this sort of position. Again, if this is a bit much on your ankles or your knees, this is where your trusty pillow or bolster can come in handy, and you can just place it underneath your hips. Oh my gosh, that's comfy. So again, finding that anterior or posterior, you want to be able to move your hips. So I'll show you from the side. Big toes are touching. And if you're seated on a bolster, you're going to take your hands either down to the ground or onto your thighs, whichever is comfortable. And as you inhale, seated cat-cows, inhale, tip the pelvis down, chest up, chin up to the ceiling. Exhale, round it out. Head drops down, belly button tucks in. Inhale. And exhale. So you're really feeling that tailbone or the hip bones moving up and down. So they're up and then moving down. So you can have your hand under your hips. It helps you to visualize the movement of your hips here to your spine. Inhale, pelvis drops down. Exhale, tipping the pelvis up. One more time as you inhale and exhale. Good. So if you've got that bolster underneath you, taking it out. Coming up into all fours position. I'm just going to mobilise the wrists very slightly. So the wrists are directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips, belly button is engaged towards the spine. Just going to take a couple of circles here just to bring some movement into the wrists. And now it's important to utilise the entire surface area of both of your hands. So imagine that you're trying to grip the mat off the floor, like you're trying to pull it off the floor. That'll help you to press through the ground through the fingertips, and it'll stop you from dumping that weight into the small wrist joints. You want to protect your wrist joints as much as you possibly can. And from here, we're going to bring ourselves up into downward facing dog just briefly. So we're going to extend ourselves back, bring some length through the hamstrings. Seeing as the hamstrings attach into the hips, I'm going to bring that flexibility all the way down through the legs as well. So coming back to neutral, index fingers parallel, pressing through the fingertips, tucking the toes, and exhale, lift it up, down facing dog. Maybe stepping back just to bring your head down between your arms. So pedaling it out, one heel at a time, keeping the knees generously bent. I want you to have a nice long spine before you try and bring your heels down to the ground. And from here, we're going to inhale, take the left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip. Just keep the hips as square as possible here. Maybe taking that right heel down to the ground if it's in your flexibility. And as you exhale, shift knee to nose and step the foot between the hands. Take the back knee down. We're going to come up into a low lunge. So from here, if this is a bit much in your knee, you can fold the mat over just to add a little bit of cushioning to that right knee and tuck your toes under. This is a travel mat, so it's really, really thin. So I need that little bit of cushioning. From here, you're going to place your hands onto your hips. If I can see anything, place your hands onto your hips, tuck the tailbone under. So you really want to get that stretch through that right hip flexor. And you can either keep your hands onto your hips or place them onto the front knee, wherever is comfortable. So we're going to inhale here, exhale down. So don't lose that tuck of the tailbone, don't fall for that and bring yourself down. You're losing that engagement. So stretching out through the front of the hip, coming down, it's a micro movement. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, place the left hand onto the left knee, take the right arm up. We're just going to bring ourselves over to the left. So you're really feeling that stretch all the way down the right side body, down through the hip flexor. Again, tailbone still tucked. Inhale, take it up. Exhale once more. Inhale, take it up. Both hands down to the ground. Pivot that left foot out to the side. I'm just going to take that left hand to the inside that left knee. I'm just going to press the knee away. So you're really opening out through the hip here. And the sole of that left foot is just going to lift off the ground. Well, not hover, but you know what I mean. It's going to sort of hinge off the ground. Take that foot back down. Place both hands down and step it back to downward facing dog, unfolding the mat in the process. So again, pressing out through both heels. This time I'm going to inhale, bring the right leg up, bend the knee and open the hip. Try not to forget about those hands. You're pressing through the fingertips, trying to dump that weight through the wrists. Maybe take that left heel, creep it down to the ground. And as you exhale, shift knee to nose, step between the hands, drop the left knee back. So from here, again, folding that mat over if you need that added cushioning. If it wants to fold over, there we go. Taking yourselves up to a low lunge. Again, find yourself amongst the mass of hair, if you're anything like me. Hands to the hips, tilting the pelvis under, so tucking the tailbone. As you inhale, making sure the top doesn't fall down. Inhaling up, exhale, coming down. Inhale out of it, exhale. So this dynamic movement will really help you to release yourself down a little bit deeper each time into the stretch. So inhale up, right hand to the right knee, left arm up. As you exhale, keep that tuck of the tailbone, and you're going to bring yourself over to the right. Inhale out of it, exhale down. Great, you should really feel this now. Beautiful stretch down the left hip flexor. Taking it back up, Placing both hands to the inside of that foot. Pivoting that right foot out to the side. Take the right hand to the inside of the right knee and press the knee away from you, or press it, just above the knee. You don't really want to press the knee joint. And your sole of the foot will just hinge off the floor. Keeping that core nice and strong. Pressing the ground away with the left hand so you're not sunk into the shoulder. You're in complete control. And then taking that foot back down to the ground, untucking the mat, both hands down, and step it back through downward facing dog. Excellent, we're nearly there. So we're going to look between the hands and either jump or step up towards the hands. So now your hands on the insides, go on the insides of your, insides of your feet. I'm going to come up to Malasana. So your spine is nice and tall. Again, you don't want to round out. This is where the bolster or a block can come in handy, so your back is nice and straight. So from the side, your back is nice and straight. So we've got no rounding out of the back like this. We're nice and tall. Feet are as close to the body as you can be. And you've got a nice open hips. Otherwise, taking it down to a squat, a Malasana squat. Hands are together and you can press the knees open with the elbows. Really feel the openness of the hips here. And from here then, you're going to take the hands behind you, gently sit back down to the ground, shuffle yourself forward and roll it back down to your back. So rocking from side to side, massaging out through the lower back, having the knees in tight. And we're going to take happy baby. So reaching through the inside of the knees, grab the outside of the feet and really pull your feet towards the body, rocking from side to side. Oh my goodness. This is probably my favorite stretch. Really opening out the hips, supported by the ground. And really feel the energy surging through the body, but you still relax as well. From here, release the grip of the feet, take the feet together, palms up to the ceiling and drop the knees out nice and wide, really slowly. So from here, just going to relax into the pose, relaxed butterfly. And now we're just giving yourself that head-to-toe assessment, maybe closing down the eyes, just so you can really draw that awareness to your insides, to the body and the mind, just to give yourself head-toe scan, placing your awareness to wherever it needs it. If noticing any differences in the body throughout the practice. Quite often when you open out the hips, it can release a lot of emotions, so just be aware of that. It's been known to really stimulate quite strong emotions from people when they open out the hips, because we do harbour a lot of it in the hip area, so just be aware of that. I'm just going to take 2 cleansing breaths. So as you inhale, really fill up the belly and the lungs, hold at the top, and exhale, side out. Once more as you inhale, hold it, sucking a bit more air at the top, and exhale, side out. Assist your knees back together with your hands, draw your knees in towards your chest, rock it up to a seated. And thank you so much again for practicing with me today. I hope that was helpful in opening out your hips. Again, it's not just for runners or people sitting down all day. It is just great to really work out and opening the hips just for general functioning. Because if you think about it, it's the sort of central part of our body. It harnesses our legs and it holds our upper body. So it's kind of important to make sure that it's nice and healthy. So I'm going to let you go on with your day or your night. Thank you so much again. Leave me any comments, positive or negative, in the comments bar below. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much.